I was coaching a reapplicant student and I asked them, what did you do from last year to this year that's different? Crickets. This is the worst thing that you can do, is literally not change anything from the last time you applied to the time that you're going to apply. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 big, simple, but effective tips that are gonna help you become a strong reapplicant for PT school. Let's get into it. Lego. What's up everyone? My name is Dr. Justin Lee, physical therapist. I'm the PT admission expert and I help students get accepted into physical therapy school the first time. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you 3 tips. Make sure you stay for number 3 because that's gonna be the game changer that all reapplicants are looking for. But let's jump right into number 1. This is pretty basic, but simple and effective. Boost your GPA and GRE. Now, boosting your GPA, you want to focus on the class that has the worst grade. So probably a C or lower. Now, if you are to prioritize certain classes, what I would recommend at the top of the list is to retake anatomy and physiology. If you did not get an A in these classes, make sure you retake and get an A. A lot of programs look at anatomy and physiology and put you in different categories because that's how they determine if you're going to be successful when you first enter PT school or not. Secondly, what I would really focus on is chem and physics. Yes, these are really hard classes. Yes, PT school admissions are looking at these hard classes to see if you can handle hard classes because PT school is hard. Duh, oh my God. Really simple, but think about it, right? If you're not doing well in these classes, you can't expect to do well in PT school. In PT school, the admission committee has to judge you on something. So I would retake anatomy, physiology as a top priority and then chemistry and physics to help boost your GPA. Now, GRE, if you did not hit at least 300, so 150 and 150 for both categories and getting at least the 3.0 or higher in your writing, then yeah, I would consider retaking that. Anything possible to improve your application, right? You want to get into PT school, you want to be a doctor, physical therapist, and impact people on a daily basis. You're going to do whatever it takes. Think of the dream, take the steps to move forward and put in the work. Number 2, apply early. This is something a lot of students don't have in their mind. They need to apply early and not wait till the deadline. So whatever school you're applying to, I highly recommend that you apply by August, okay? So if they're rolling admissions and their deadline is in December or the following year, doesn't matter. Apply by August. That's gonna give you the best chances to get accepted into PT school as far as timeline goes. Okay, number 3. Now, before I get into number 3, something that I do want to mention is you got to make sure that you are doing something from the time you applied and got rejected to the time you're applying again. In the PT school application, they're going to ask you, what did you do differently? You better have something to talk about and you better write it in a really good and compelling way to share with them that you really worked on yourself. Because if you're doing the same thing expecting a different result, that's insanity, and PT school doesn't like insane people. Okay, fancy that. All right, so number 3, you need to focus on what you have improved on and talk about that in the application. When you apply to the same program, it's gonna ask you, what did you do differently from last year where you improved your application? That might be you took a different class, you added classes, you retook classes, retook the GRE, maybe got some more observation hours, etc, etc, etc. Oh, really quick, observation, little side note, observation hours, just because you're gonna get more observation hours does not really help your application, okay? There are students who have thousands and thousands of observation hours, and the more you get does not make you stand out. It's not worth it. Don't put your effort into doing that. put your effort into retaking classes, getting yourself involved with different experiences, volunteer opportunities, different jobs to really help you stand out. And now when you do that differently, that's what you're gonna talk about. Because whatever you do from that time you got rejected to reapplication time, you're gonna talk about that and how that thing, that experience has influenced you. Okay, so let's take retaking anatomy and physiology, for example. In the application, when you're reapplying, they're gonna say what you do differently. You're gonna say, I took anatomy and physiology. And then you're gonna say, hey, look, when I was in undergrad, I wasn't really taking school super seriously and I did poorly. That reflected on my grades. I got a C and I just went by to go through the motions. But as I was applying to PT school and got rejected, I realized that I really needed to capitalize on courses that are really important to becoming a future physical therapist. I understood that the fundamental knowledge of knowing about human anatomy and the physiological responses that happen to life are really important in the physical therapy career, which is why I took the initiative to retake that class or classes because I understood that this was really important. In addition to this, I have learned the skills to study effectively, the skills to implement knowledge into practice, and the skills to learn for long-term gains. Now notice what I did there. I did a two-parter. Number one, I said what I did differently, and number two, what I learned. This is really important. The self-reflection aspect is critical, and that's what you're gonna capitalize on. So whether it's retaking classes, whether it's, hey, I joined a club or a volunteer position, or whether that's I got a job as a waiter, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. As long as you can say what you did differently, what you learned, and how that relates to PT school or a future physical therapist, you're in the clear. You're welcome. Now, if you're having trouble with the reapplication process and you are afraid that you're gonna get rejected again and you need some confidence, some coaching, some guidance, I can help you. I have a group coaching program called PT Application Bootcamp that I think would be really helpful for you, especially for reapplicants, because it's gonna talk about the fundamental things you need to know, the things that you might have missed, and the things that you can improve on to maximize your PT application. Now, if you're like, hey, Justin, I know all this stuff, sure, whatever, that's fine. And if you're looking for more of a personalized approach, I do also have one-on-one coaching available as well. Both of those links will be in the description in the bio below. Question for you, if you're willing to be transparent, what part of your application do you feel like is the most lacking part? If you can focus on one aspect of your application and figure out that's probably why I got rejected, what is that? I'd love to hear in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one, you guys.